Views expressed here are not supported by and do not reflect those of the Evening Rush Network. Viewers' discretion is advised.
You're now listening to the Evening Rush Network.
Hey, good evening. Welcome to the Thoughts of a Man podcast with Chris and Don. How you doing, Don?
Chilling. You already know what it
Chilling?
is. Yeah,
Yeah, last
great.
week went by. Weekend went by so fast. This weather's been cold, hot, cold. How you been handling it?
Weather's been good on my end. Like, I'm mornings is what's cold, so as long as that heat come up, I'm fine. You already know. But I need everybody to do me a solid. I need y'all to definitely like, subscribe, and share. That's the most important thing. And tap in, man. Comments. Let us know how you feel, what you're thinking. We're gonna have a great show tonight. We're talking about nine different ways to disrespect your husband and make him feel insignificant. So
Yeah, and if
yeah,
you're married out there, you're gonna recognize at least a few of the nine.
even if you're not married, even if you're definitely in a relationship, you're gonna definitely tap in. This is definitely gonna be tapping. So but before we even get to that, how was your week, bro?
Yeah, my week was crazy. My daughter took down the high jump. She won first place in the high jump
Oh,
competition.
congratulations, bro. Congratulations, bro.
Yeah, and
Congratulations.
so it's been a great week. You know, now she wants to she I gotta buy her something.
That was the win-win for her.
Yeah, exactly. Now I gotta she wanna go to American Doll. I'm like, okay.
I heard that spot be popping. I've
Yeah.
never been there. I heard it's definitely a dope spot. Kids definitely love it. Um, my week has been totally crazy. Uh, definitely. What's going on, Envy? Happy to see you.
What
Want
up,
to check
Envy?
in. Make sure you tune in because this is for women like you.
That's right.
Let me stop messing with you. Um, First and foremost, like my weekend was crazy. I got hurt. I'm at work. I've been laid up for the week and just trying to get back in the groove of life, man. And it's difficult once you're hurt. You got to take a minute to just relax. You
Yo,
know.
so what happened? Like you dislocated your shoulder? What happened?
No, I actually got hurt at work during pulling a cart with me. The cart wasn't even that full, and some way somehow I messed up my rotator cuff. Um, so I'm down. Don't do you like that? No, I ain't gonna do nah. I'm sorry. You gotta get that smooth berry weight on. I'm sorry. But yeah, got injured and I've been down all week, and it's
so
just been
so
real.
so has the wife been taking care of you since you've been injured?
She's doing her best. She's definitely doing her best. It's hard. Nah, you gotta remember at the end of the day, we got kids, so toddlers, so she has to handle it all. It's a lot for a woman to deal with. Unfortunately, this is my driving arm, so I can't even drive,
Oh.
and that's the part that's killing me the most.
See, my
Definitely
thing
can't
is
drive.
my thing is when I got injured when I was dating my wife,
Mm.
oh, I was getting, food and just like, oh, your feet hurt, I got you. But when you're married and you already past that level and you get hurt, she just give me some ginger ale and tell me everything's gonna be all right.
That was that first year.
Yeah.
First year, the first year everything is smooth, is good. It's like, yeah, it's the most beautiful part of the relationship.
Yep.
Then after that first year, you know, now you get into the real part of a relationship, and
Yeah.
you realize, yo, listen, he ain't going nowhere. So it is
Yep.
what it is. You know what I mean? So, and this is some of the things we're going to talk about tonight. This is the crazy part about it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, yo, I dislocated my shoulder. What is ginger ale gonna help me do? I didn't understand that. I didn't understand. I was
It was the thought that counts. That's what it was.
yeah,
The
yeah.
thought.
I wasn't thirsty. I wasn't thirsty.
She just wanted to make sure you knew she was thinking about you at that moment. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
while she's out getting her hair and her nails done.
There you go. First her mind, she's like, yo, listen, let me make sure he's good. Let me bring him some ginger ale. So you're just supposed to be appreciative of that and just, yo, call it a day. That's
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
You know what I mean? Thank you, babe. That's it. Call it a day. But yo, let's get cracking, man. Like I really want to get on this. What we talking about tonight, because we're gonna touch on a lot of things, is 9 ways that to disrespect your husband and make him feel insignificant. Um, Women don't understand that. I don't want to say women. I want to say when you're in a relationship, men have feelings too. We have thoughts, we have emotions. We might not show them as much, but we do have these. And when we go through them, we don't express them or explain to you, as, the way you would understand. So we just put it out there. We throw it out there in the air and hope for we reach for the best. You know what I mean? So let's get on the first one: emotional manipulation of your husband. And for women that don't know what that is, do you ever use your moods to control your husband's response? For example, have you ever responded cutely with "Nope, it's fine. I don't care,"
Mm.
when it actually isn't fine, and you do care? Guilt trips, using words always and never, aggression or passive aggression, the silent treatment, um, doling out ultimatums, crying for pity, or extravagant, or showing some type of disappointment. Are many ways a woman emotionally manipulates her husband.
Now I have a
So
question though.
yeah,
What stage of the relationship does this emotional manipulation take place?
it could,
What stage would you say?
this the crazy thing. It can happen in the beginning of the it normally happens after the first year because
Right.
you're no longer dealing with the representative. You done spoiled her to the point where she feels she gotta have her way.
When she's
Uh,
comfortable.
yeah, she's comfortable. You know what I mean? So you'll tell her something in the sense of, yo, babe, I want to do this. I'm going to do this. And she actually doesn't want you to do it. Envy said the most that I think most women use their emotions for manipulation. Yes, they do. Um, that's the thing. Like they'll throw it out there like it's not in crazy, but it actually is crazy. And it hurts.
Right.
And oh, by the way, if y'all are on Facebook, just so that we can share the show to other people, click at follower, at highlight, and at everyone to share the show for us. Let your people see what we talking about, and so they can tap in. Definitely, we would definitely appreciate that. So, oh, I'm sorry, this is Aisha. What's up? What up, Mama? Sorry about that.
Hmm.
So most women will use their emotions.
Right.
The way they'll turn it around, like they said, she'll go, "Nope, it's fine." When actually it bothered her. I don't care. She cared.
Right.
But she'll guilt trip you for using words like always and never, and or be passive aggressive. These are things that I've seen myself, and I'll be like, "Yo, for real,
Exactly.
I'm not supposed to have these feelings of this is something I want to do and I can't do it because you feel a way about it." You know what I mean? I think one of my boys said it best was even when you get married, you're still an individual. So you want to do individual things, not always where it has to be a joint thing. Some
Right.
majority of things can be joint things. Some things just got to be individual things. You still got to respect each other and how we feel. You know what I mean? So it does go down like that. So let's get into the second one. Um, which I was like, this is real. Mothering your husband.
Oh, see, I don't have the fortunate. Yeah, break
Okay,
that one down. Yeah.
okay, guys. I can be such a mom in every sense of the word, but gosh, it's damaging, especially to my marriage. We have gotten to a place where I have recognized that this is a struggle for me, and I'm actively choosing my words, actions, and more wisely. But that happened. That hasn't always been the case, and I believe in many marriages, the wife acts like her husband's mother, but because she thinks that that's what's best to avoid an issue or drain her husband of independence and joy. So I don't know if you've been in a relationship where you'll be like, yo, she she's more mothering than your wife.
Now, I've gotten that more when dealing with the kids, right? She wants to parent me, parent them.
Mm.
That I didn't, I never, when we were dating, when we first newlyweds, no. But the moment we have kids, it's just like, you can't yell at them like that. And then she goes yell. But then she's like, parents, and then she goes, "Oh no, I'm afraid of you." But then I'm like, you like, you parenting me. I'm in trouble for doing something to the kids that I don't know. It's just, yeah, I bumped
I
into that
I
more.
go through I go through more of um you want to talk to me like I'm the kid.
Right, right,
And you gotta understand I'm not the kid, we're equals. So when I feel like that, I feel disrespected. I'm like,
right.
yo, I say something without saying it as aggressively as possible. I mean, I'm very one of those passive aggressive people. So where I would be like, I feel like you're talking to me like I'm one of the kids. You just say, stop. There's other ways to go about this. And most women don't notice that they're doing it sometimes. So you can't always blame them because they don't. It's not something they mostly they do it purposely. It's not done purposely. It's not done intentionally. It's not done spitefully. It's just something that they don't realize they're doing sometimes.
Also, sometimes too, if they have like a bad day at work, or if they're dealing with a certain type of personality at work that they can't, maybe a supervisor or somebody they can't, they have to really be on walking on eggshells. But then when they come home, they feel comfortable enough to take it out on you,
Mhm. Very true. Very, very true. So
or a family member, or like let's say a grandmother or somebody with a strong personality that's high up in the family
man out there.
tree
Yeah.
that you can't stand up to, but they're gonna come home and stand up to you.
And that goes into topic 2 and 3, which is
Aggression.
aggression towards your husband. So using aggression as means of fighting or getting your way won't ever allow our husbands to win. He by responded with meekness or silence. You make him out to be the coward, and he responds with anger. You make him out to be a bully if you need space after argument because of aggression tends to be that go-to.
Right.
Then take away before you come back together. My dear brothers and sisters, take note to this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry because human anger does not produce the righteousness that God desires.
Right.
Sorry about the God part, but it's true. Let's get it real. Um, and the only reason why I'm saying sorry about the God part is because I want this to be understanding that this is something we go through in relationships. You know what I mean? Where aggression towards your husband, once again, you're talking down to this man. These are disrespectful things. You might not notice it, or you might like it. Once again, I don't feel everyone notices that thing.
Right.
It's just more or less something that's done. It could be accidentally. It could be purposely. She could be aggressive. Yo, she's not getting her way, so she's gonna say what she got to say to hurt your feelings.
Right.
Have you gone through these situations?
Yeah, like I said, it depends on the season because it's not like some of these things you can go through a period of time where like instead of being honest and communicating with one another, you take these tactics and create this negative energy for whatever reason instead of just coming together and speaking your truth or really listening to one. That's another thing, listening to one another, which is it's so
Communication.
like yes, a lot of times, and I won't say this is a woman thing, I'm gonna say this is a people thing. A
Yeah.
lot of times we have what we want to say in our head, and because it's there sitting in our head, we don't listen to the other side because we already have these thoughts in our head, and that creates more problems and can create an aggression because if you're ignoring somebody, actively ignoring them, meaning if they're saying something and you're just not hearing them, then yeah, they may become aggressive.
Well, this is one that I always tend to go through myself also. Smothering your husband.
Right.
Once again, this goes for a spouse or it could go for your husband, whichever one. These are definitely topics that could go through your spouse as well. Jesse and I have had an open phone policy with over over compassion. When it comes to asking hard questions and telling hard truths, however, there comes a point when openness becomes obsession and asking becomes smothering. I have always said that if either party in a marriage truly wants to go out and have an affair, there's no amount of snooping that anyone can do to stop it. And this is very true.
Yeah.
Very, very, very true. And when I say that, I'm listen. If someone wants to cheat, they are going to cheat. You can
You
go through their phone 1,001 times. All you're doing is one, disrespecting your spouse. Two, the main thing you're doing is losing trust amongst each other, and that is one of the biggest killers in a relationship. Is the trust? Because now I no longer trust you because you're going through my phone. Why are you going through my jet?
again, like this ain't a woman thing though. On this one, this
Yeah,
is a very neutral one.
this is
I
definitely
think
neutral.
I think what gets lost is instead of either noticing that you're not paying attention to your significant other, right? You start sneaking behind their back doing things on both sides, right?
Mhm.
And instead of confronting the issue, we double down on getting attention from somebody else, being on internet sites or doing things on your phone or whatever, and ignoring your significant other, which leads to this kind of issue on both sides.
Right.
And for some reason, we never go up to somebody. Like, that's why I love my wife. One day she told me, she was like, "Yo, what's going on?" Right? Because I wasn't present, but I was sick. I didn't know I was sick, but I was sick, and the sickness was making me feel like I was out of it. And then I got diagnosed, everything. So, but I never forget when she was like, "Yo, you're not showing me no love. You're not giving me no attention. You're not." She came straight forward with it, and I felt bad because I really wasn't, but I was sick. So sometimes it's also like the thing about relationships that as you love someone you go through, there's also times when a person isn't really, they're going through something you can't see. And I don't want to
Yeah.
say, oh, it's an excuse, but no, this happens in relationships. But sometimes if we want to go negative, be like, oh no, he's doing it on purpose or she's doing. I'm not saying they are or they not, but there's many different reasons for a change in a relationship. It's not always because it's another woman or another guy.
Right.
Sometimes also it could be a new job. Also a death in the family. Like I've seen a death in the family change things dramatically in people's lives, especially when you lose like your mother or like somebody that's like really close.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can't just be like, oh well, she's not giving it up or she's not doing this or that. I'm out, right? Because you're gonna run into it. You run to someone else, you're gonna run into the same issue again because that's life. This is life stuff.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
sometimes you got to give grace to the person instead of sneaking on the phone or doing this. But in the vice versa, if you lose somebody and then you decide to want to be, be back on the streets, I'm not saying, let that happen either, because you could go to that extreme too.
Well, let's go to number 5.
Yeah.
Criticizing your husband.
Mm.
This one speaks for itself. If you spend the majority of your time criticizing the things your spouse has done wrong rather than praising things that they have done right, it's likely that they feel as if they won't ever be good enough for you. Words have the power to destroy or build them up. Challenge yourself each day to voice 10 positive things about your uh, husband for every criticism you get. Sorry. So, um, I don't really have this issue too tough. Criticism is very lacking mine, but I've been around people who have criticized every little thing that person's done. From, you think you put your socks on the floor this way, and you put your clothes on them. You don't know how to fold the bed and make the sheets, and the list goes on and on. Um, my thoughts on this is something once again neutral. People do it to each other, husbands and wives. This is a form of disrespect.
Also, it's a way to deflect,
Mm,
right? Again, instead of what the real issue is, you can go, oh, remember in 1991 you did this, this, and this, or you don't do this, or you don't do that. But what is it that you really want them to do? What is it that you really need? What is it that is really bothering you?
mm-hmm.
Sometimes people just this is like just a deflection. It's not a real it's not the real issue. It's just a way of avoiding the real issue.
Yes, definitely. Definitely pushing it off on the other person, making them feel less than when in all actuality that's your feeling that day.
And
And once
again,
again,
like, huh?
I just want it to be known that a simple apology during half of this
Mm,
stuff can go so far.
real far. And
You know what I
again,
mean?
if you married this person, what are you building? Right? If you're raising kids, right, and you're doing this to them, you're raising some screwed up kids, right? There's nothing good comes from this action on either party. Even if the husband is criticizing the wife, what are you doing? What are you really pushing? You're pushing each other away,
Yeah,
right? And
definitely.
then, in my opinion, the cheating isn't the problem. It's stuff like this that makes that adds up to cheating or adds up to somebody else coming in and playing a hero because
Mm-hmm.
of these issues. You pushing somebody away.
100. And that is something people don't understand. The criticizing when you put your spouse down, and now his work wife or a work person, or it
Yep.
could be someone in the street, go, yo, you're a magnificent person. I've never seen anybody like you before. That opened their eyes to something different. They're like, oh wow, my wife don't say that because she's already
Yep.
telling me I can't fold the clothes properly. I don't take the garbage out on time. So those little things make a difference in everything that goes on. We're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna get on to the next subject, which is number 6. So you already know what it is. Stay tuned. Evening Rush, man. Sorry. Thoughts of a man. Let's go.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl, Chrissy, here to let you know that the Evening Rush Network now has an app. Yes, an app, you guys, so you can stay connected on the go and watch all your favorite podcast shows. You can download the app at Google Play Store or Apple iTunes. So spread the word. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Also, if you're looking to start a podcast and really don't know how, well, hit us up at the Evening Rush Network at gmail.com and inquire about time slots, pricings, and everything you may need to get started. We got you. Join the winning team, the Evening Rush Network. And also, download that app. What are you waiting for? Get to it.
You're now listening to the Evening Rush Network.
Yeah. We are back.
Yeah,
Thoughts
welcome
of a
back,
Man
Thoughts of a
podcast.
Man.
We're gonna jump into number 6. Undermining your husband. First of all, let's run it back. What we're talking about today is 9 ways to disrespect your husband or make your husband or wife. We're gonna say both at this point. Feel insignificant. And once again, I'm running it back and saying both because a lot of these are both. They're not just one person. Make sure y'all tap into Thoughts of a Man podcast 06 or my page Dawn underscore the Evening Rush. Tell us your thoughts. Hit us up. You know what I mean? Tell us if you want to be on the show. Tell us if you want to talk about some things or give us some thoughts or topics to bring up. So we definitely open to everything.
And if
Also,
you
if you want to call in, the number is 929-282-0266. You can call in and give us your thoughts about any of the topics that we're talking about tonight. So let's go to number 6, undermining your husband. So this is a big one in a lot of marriages and relationships. Undermining your spouse, especially as a father, teaches your children that it's not content and shouldn't be respected. He shouldn't be respected. Overruling his decisions in front of the children not only teaches them to disrespect him, bring discord and conflict to your home rather than bringing peace and unity. We are on the same team, and anytime we think that we're doing the right thing by divulging our husband's words or opinions, we are slowly giving no other option but him to disengage and completely leave parenting duties to us. Let me first go.
You're now listening to the Evening Rush Network.
Because you definitely hit that on the bell. That was definitely hit on the bell.
Yeah.
What up, Brody? I see you. Shout out to my boy right there. Yo, I just want to say, first of all, this is one of the owners and creators of Thoughts of a Man, my boy Shaka. So I definitely want to say, what up, bro? Definitely want you to come on the show one day when you feel free and you want to. The door is open. Let's get into undermining your husband and talk about that. So this is something that's done a lot, and a lot of people do it in front of the kids.
Kids. Yep.
Once again, this is something I feel is not done purposely, but I feel like when it's done, it causes the most damage to your relationship. The most damage done to the relationship is because of you undermining the other. And once again, this is not just, I know it says husband, and this is definitely about us men, but I just want it to be known that this is something that damages the relationship. Period.
I want to say something. Even though we are husbands, this can go either way. Every so far, every number can go. We can do it, or they can do it. This is not. It's not a. It's not to just bash women or bash wives. It could go either way. But
Yeah.
I'm not a wife, so I'm gonna say yes. Undermining your husband when you don't have no kids. I don't know who you marry because I ain't never experienced that until I had kids. When you have kids, it's a different It's a different beast. But also, I tend to find that I'm not gonna lie. When my kids were little, I wasn't. I left it to mommy. You know what I mean? They, when they were, but when they start talking,
Right.
walking, that's when I'm around and I'm there. And then you bump into this undermining your husband. You bump into, when you are scolding your kids, you're scolding, you know. But I'm not gonna lie though. I don't know about you, disciplining my daughter versus disciplining my son. I I used to give my daughter a little pow pow, but then I realized I don't want her growing up thinking it's okay for a man to ever touch you.
Mm.
So I don't pow pow my daughter. But that was something me and my wife spoke about. Like this undermining a husband situation isn't necessarily all bad. It's not always. It. There's some room in there. Sometimes, in my opinion, where we could fall back and let our wife handle some situations. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, one, I'm going to acknowledge what Shaka said, that that's definitely dangerous, especially in front of the kids, because it may teach daughters the that it's the way to talk to a man, and they may wind up getting hands put on them as a consequence of what you just said.
Yeah.
And then for boys, they may begin to think that they shouldn't have a backbone towards their woman. So those are two different definitions of that situation.
So okay. So
Me,
what I'm saying
hold,
is like
all
like
right,
my wife
go ahead.
shut me like for instance, if my daughter needs to be taken care of, then my wife steps in and shuts me down so she could take care of it. It could look like undermining, but it actually isn't. That's what I'm trying to say. Like sometimes, like certain situations like that, I need to walk away, but I'm in it, and so she has to pull me to the side so she could get it. But it could look like undermining, but it really wasn't. That's what I'm saying.
Well, it's no, I got you, but what it does also is take from you being a father and making your daughter feel like, you know, well, daddy's not going to discipline me. It's on mommy. So if mommy's not here, I don't really have to listen to daddy. And that's where the undermining comes in.
Okay.
Versus the son, you want your son to realize, you're listening. What I say goes, and it shouldn't be a back and forth. And that's by doing that, you'll notice that men they'll lose their respect for their mothers, and they won't listen to her and what she's saying. So the discipline got to go both ways.
Right.
If she says that you ride with it, like we a team. Boom. What your mother say? There ain't no question. No, no. What your mother say? All right, that's
I
it.
agree. I agree.
And vice versa. Sorry about that. Vice versa, ladies. Um, yeah, my bad. Vice versa, ladies. Your husband says something. What your father say? That's what it is. And yeah,
And even if
if you
talk later.
disagree, we'll talk about it later. We'll discuss it later when they're not around. We ride with it and listen. And me and my wife been in that situation before. We stuck our guns together, and then we got away from the kids, and we had a moment. Listen, I didn't like what you said or how you said it to her, but I rode with you. But I think you could have came off a little bit better at what you said. And then that's up to her to make that decision to go back and revisit that situation and go, well, listen, I'm sorry, or whatever the case may be. So that's definitely a touchy thing when you undermine each other, especially in a relationship. Number 7. Oh yeah, lust and flirting with people other than your husband. I'm gonna read this, but this should be an obvious one. But a woman who's either secretly or openly flirt, with the other men, with other men, have the ability to immediately make her spouse feel less than, ashamed, or embarrassed. When we married our spouse and became our only type, you and your husband, and he is yours. Talking about other men or hinting of attractiveness to other men and discarding is disrespectful to your husband. and creates insecurities in your heart. Well, what's your
Out of
thoughts on this before I say something?
out of all the ones you named, this is the most dangerous one. There's nothing more dangerous than someone thinking that they could take what you have, which can lead to somebody losing their life. Right? This one right here is on a whole other level. Because you come home, you see somebody with your wife, somebody's dying. Right? Or you see somebody in the car with your wife, somebody's dying. Right? Like there's no in between. There's no. We hear about this all the time with somebody,
Yeah.
when you're not even married, actually, right? Like there was in the news a year ago. Somebody went home with somebody's girlfriend, and the boyfriend came home, and boom, homeboy's in heaven now. You know what I mean? He didn't even know she had a boyfriend or a husband or whatever it was. So
My
this
thing
one is
with
very dangerous.
yes, my thing with this is listen. Um, yes, flirting is and lusting are two dangerous things. People sometimes don't know.
Mm.
I, my wife told me many a times, yo, you're a flirt. I don't like it, but I know that's you. And she's come to the point she realized, yo, listen, I really don't know that I'm flirting. It's not done purposely. It's done because I'm not, that's just, I'm a friendly person. So it's never done purposely to try to hurt her, make her feel insecure, or any of those natures. It's just something that's just natural to me. Like I've been doing it all my life. I don't even realize I'm doing it. Lusting is a different thing.
But
Lusting will get you killed in a lot
but
of ways.
but also when a woman flirts is much different than when a man flirts. I
Fact,
hate to say it. It's just
fact.
you give a dude an inch.
That
Oh
nigga gonna run with it.
yeah,
He's running with it.
yeah, yeah.
He knows, yo, he got it in. Even if a dude feels he got in this much,
Yep.
he's like, oh, some panties is mine.
Yo,
Some panties.
it could just be a hello, and he's telling all his boys, "Oh, she wants me," or "We this," or like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. You can't. Unfortunately, it's not. This one doesn't go both ways.
It doesn't. Definitely doesn't. Could you accept if your woman was like, yo, I saw this very attractive man today and he was just so nice to me?
Now, here's the interesting thing, right? In year 1 through 5, hell no. But I'm in year 17, and my wife, we were at some event, and we were looking at pictures of people, and we were just talking about everybody, and it just doesn't, we almost 20 years in, like it's not the same.
Yeah.
So it just depends where you at in your relationship, and
Your,
and how
your
much you
security.
built.
Shaka is stupid. He said, my favorite book is OJ's. I didn't kill Nicole, but if I did, this is how I would have done it. Also saying pretty much the same thing, flirting with my wife. Like, yo. So, you got to be careful.
Yeah,
Definitely got to be careful, especially with the flirting. Be careful, guys. And girls. Mostly women, be careful. You don't know
yeah,
what your man is willing to do for that nonsense. Avoiding issues with your husband. Holding grudges and keeping a record of your husband's wrongs rather than talking things out, excuse me, and expressing what's really on your mind will likely lead to bitterness and resentment in both ends. If you continue to allow bitterness to fester in your heart, you will bring up past arguments with new situations arising, causing your husband to feel as if there's never any progress made. Totally agree. But at the same note, I realize some people avoid arguments, and are fine. I'm being one of them. I don't like to argue. I'm gonna say what I have to say. You say what you have to say, and then that's the end of the conversation. I don't want to bring it up later. I don't want to bring it up 2 weeks, 3 weeks later. It's done. You said what you said. I said what I said. I'm good. I don't. I hate when you sit there and say we're avoiding the issue. No, we're not avoiding the issue. Sometimes you don't want to blow up, so you just walk away.
Right.
That's me.
Right.
I don't want to blow up, so I'm not. I'm not gonna address it. I might not address the issue. I might listen. It's done. It's over. Walk away. But what I'm not gonna do is go back.
Now,
You know what I mean?
but see, here's the thing though. Like, it's just, in my opinion, it's just like, all right, you know what? Right now, I'm too emotional about whatever on either side, or you're too emotional. We're not gonna really deal with this properly. Give me some time. It could either be the same day or tomorrow. We'll come back to this, or we both could realize it's not that serious. Because again, if you have kids, or you got a stressful job, or you got stuff with your family, sometimes other situations heighten something that maybe isn't that big, but it's big because everything else is hitting you at the same time. So yeah, it depends on where you at.
Yeah, you're right. But sometimes you got to remember most arguments is about who's right, who's wrong. There could be times neither you right or wrong. It's just a disagreement or it's a difference of opinion, and that's the reason why you walk away and let it go.
Right.
I'm taking my difference of opinion and going this way, and I'm gonna let you take your difference of opinion and you go that way.
I
If
hate
we feel like it's that serious to meet back later and talk about it, that's fine. Most of the time, you just forget about it.
Yeah, it's like a tug of war. It's like, one day you might have to compromise, one day she might have to compromise. Like sometimes this is just, you know, marriage is a marathon. It's not a race. It's not a win. It's not, you can't put a tally on the board, who's up, who's down, because at the end of the day, if you're both up or you're both down, period.
Yeah,
And if you're not on that level and you're thinking me, 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 you will be with you, you, you,
I yourself. Taunting your husband.
you.
Oh, do you provoke your husband? You push his buttons for the sake of attention or to test his response. You nag at him when he walks into the door and not helping enough around the house, even though he has worked a 40, 60, or 80-hour week. A taunt is defined as a remark made in order to anger, wound, or provoke someone. We would probably never openly admit that we are taunting our husband, but think back to the comments made in a few past days. Were they meant for building up or tearing down?
Right.
Listen, I believe women do this shit purpose.
What happened?
The taunt, I said I believe women do this purpose. You know I don't work 40 to 50, 60-hour shifts. I come home from work. The first thing I need to do is unwind, and I can, especially when kids are home. You want help with the kids. And your theory is, oh, well, I've been with the kids all day. You could do this. Sometimes it's not that easy. I'm deep. You, I don't know. Depending on the line of business you're in, because I know retail, dealing with people all day can be insane, especially if they're crazy people. I believe half people. That's just my. What's your thought?
Yeah. Well, my thing is, again, how much attention are you giving your significant other? Period. Right? If you can't, and this is it may seem like it's something so simple, so easy, but it's not. And sometimes if you don't know your wife's love language, or you don't, and you get so caught up with work and consumed, because some jobs are very consuming, that we might have to schedule a notice in our phone, or call your wife, right? Sometimes a simple note. Sometimes, when's the last time you went out on a date, right? Sometimes, like when you have kids, a lot of this stuff is very challenging because after you get through with the kids, how do you get through to each other? And so then you get the taunting because something is lacking.
Well, I mean, once again, that goes both ways.
Yeah, it goes both ways.
Because once again, she could be, you could feel that she's taunting you because of many reasons. She
Yeah.
wants attention. We all know it's for attention, but there's a time and a place for attention.
No, I didn't say it was right. I'm just saying, like, it's a human, it's just, again, instead of saying I miss you, or instead of coming at it with love,
You tell me, go take out the garbage.
right? We come at with venom, with, like, we want to bite. They want to bite you. They want to, they want to,
She chose war.
yeah, yeah, and it's just not necessary. But unfortunately, I don't know about you. Like, how many of us have grown up and seen loving relationships? That's another factor in it. Sometimes we learn all the wrong things by watching the stupid reality shows on TV, or war fights at home, because how many of us have had a vision of a loving, lasting relationship? I was watching some show and the guy was like, I've never been with one woman, and was bragging. I'm sitting there like you can't handle one woman? Like, you cannot be
It's
in
a
one
lot of work.
relationship with one woman? You think it's cool? And I'm just like, I don't have that kind of energy, bro. You good luck to you dealing with all the multiple personalities you want to go and find, right? But to have a household and be with one person to the day I die, I wear that as a badge of honor.
Yeah, yeah, it's a lot of work, man.
It's a lot of work. It's easy jumping woman to woman, or man to man, or being,
Yeah.
to be on the streets. It's easy. It's really easy. But
Well, I,
making,
I
yeah,
I don't honestly, I don't feel it's easy. Only because it takes a lot of work. You're dealing with multiple personalities. Dealing with one woman and one personality is a lot.
no, it is. But dealing with the streets, you could
So
you could cut that off. You
yeah,
could you could I can't wake up tomorrow and be like, I don't want to be married. Like, I mean, technically you can, but I don't want to pay that price.
yeah, definitely comes with a price.
It's a heavy
I,
price. But, but
as
when you
for the child support I paid over the years.
Yeah, yeah. But when you single on the streets, you could cut people off. You could move. You could change your number. You could do X, Y, and Z and keep it moving. But once you jump into a marriage, even if you get a divorce, you will always be a ex-husband, not boyfriend, not girl, ex-husband.
um, Sometimes there's nothing wrong with being an ex-husband if the situation called for it. I just want to acknowledge that.
No, no,
I'm
ain't
throwing
nothing
in a
wrong.
bonus.
Ain't nothing wrong. I'm just saying that person had your name regardless. You can't undo that, right? You
Why
could
not?
you could get out of a relationship with
No.
nobody
Why not?
taking
Why
your
not?
name, huh?
As soon as the divorce papers is in, you no longer have my name. Move on. Don't be like Tina. So, yeah, I had to throw a bonus one in. The bonus one is envy other people's marriages. Multiple who's mad hotel fees. I'm good. Facts, bro. Commitment is huge, and when we display discontent in our lives, our husbands immediately feels like the need to fix until he feels like there's nothing more he can do, and he just wants to give up. The more time and energy we waste comparing our marriages or husbands to that of other people, and telling him who he isn't or who he needs to be, the more we miss out on beautiful quirks and gifts and the person God gave.
Right.
So, definitely want to say I believe that is it's true. Um, don't throw Sally Joe's relationship in my face. Don't want to hear about it. That's good for
Not
Sally Joe and her husband or her boyfriend. I'm not him. I'm not trying to be him. I'm trying to be me. I feel like that's one of the most disrespectful things anybody can. You
I
know,
agree. Especially, well, see, I've been married for a minute, and one of the things I've learned about other married people, they are some good actors and actresses. Just
fact.
what you see, even on Instagram, but even in person at parties, people be coming looking all fabulous. And but if you lived in that house, you would see a different side that we don't see, and it ain't that great.
Yeah.
So sometimes that envy of other marriages, you unless you in that house living with folks, you don't know the real.
And then sometimes even if you're living with them, you're not seeing everything that goes on.
Well, it
You
depends
know,
how big the house is.
not even. I think I've had like I've lived with my parents, my in-laws, and just because we lived with them, we never showed them what was. So if
Mm,
there was a problem, we would wait till we had time to discuss it versus um, showing them what goes on.
right.
And and vice versa. So, you know, you don't know what's going on in somebody else's house. And then to sit here and go, well, why can't you be like him? Well, he does this for his wife. Have you ever done that? Why don't you do that for me? Like I don't get roses and flowers. Why is that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, his wife sent the gift basket to work. Why don't you do those things? You know what I mean? So it's disrespectful.
But
It's one of the things I hate.
but
I
again,
think that's one of my pet peeves.
but again, why communicate that way? Why not? Hey, I would love some flowers. Like I can't read minds. I can't. You know, when you first dating somebody, you throwing darts, right? You buying
Yeah.
candy, buying flowers, but you're just doing it because you don't know. But if we are married and you say, "Hey, I really love some flowers," now if I'm not listening to you, that's a different story. But what makes you think I'm gonna hear you more when you're talking about Pablo?
Yeah. So I got communication should always be open. However, people should never compare. And then they said exactly so. Um, yeah, I agree. I do agree. Communication should always be open. But when is communication always open? Well, it's easy to say we should communicate. We should communicate. We should. But when does it always be that fact that that's what goes households?
Well,
You could
no,
say you could beat a dead horse into the fact that communication is the key to every relationship. But sometimes people just don't communicate. We don't have it in us to communicate every single time.
you know what, Don? That's the thing about life, right? When you're raising kids, you have to communicate with your kids even when you don't want to, even when
Yeah,
I don't care how old they are. Same thing with our marriage. We have to. You always when people fight for their marriage or fight for their relationship, it's not the fight when it's over. It's the fight every day to keep growing, to keep being committed, to keep. You're not guaranteed to stay married. You can't get comfortable. You can never get comfortable
comfortable. Yeah, definitely.
because things change every day. And if you are not there for your significant other, somebody else will be there for them, doing the opposite of all these signs. And then you wonder why Swiss Beats got left for Alicia Keys, and they've been married for over 10 years, right?
Left
Probably some of
Mashonda.
these things, like people think it's the person, but maybe they found the person that actually hears them, right? Forget the looks, forget like that's all nice, that's candy. But
Well,
what
nah,
builds
hold
a
up, time out.
yeah,
Mashonda and Alicia look good. So
no, they do. That's what I'm saying. So that's what so it had nothing to do with looks.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying. It has nothing to do with the visual, right? It's these other factors that create
that played the
successful,
part.
yes, and lasting. Because I don't care if you have money, don't have money. We all run into these 9, 10 signs of why you should run.
Also, we have any people and people should talk to each other, not at each other, which is very
Right,
true.
right.
Um, I per se, like, honestly, I owe my kids an apology, which they definitely do. I should have did it before they went to bed. I did spark off a little this morning because I was dealing with another situation with one of my other kids. So I definitely owe them some ice cream and apology. I definitely gotta make that happen. But it took my wife telling me, you're kind of wrong at how you walk up. And instead of sitting there saying, you know what, you're not right, I could do da 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 da. I thought about what she said and I was like, you're right. I do owe them that. So I'm definitely going to handle that tomorrow. Once again, something that should have been done earlier, but Daddy split. Daddy gotta go. Daddy goes through a lot of stuff.
But that's
So,
what I was saying to you, and that's why I said sometimes even on the other side, if you know somebody's going through something, there's also times we have to be mindful to give grace. If somebody's fighting an illness, if somebody's stressed at work, sometimes some of these signs are inadvertent.
mm,
You
fact,
know, and so we have to, because we're not robots. And if you show me a
fact.
perfect person, let me know, because I don't care who, we all are human. We all deal with things differently. And thank you. You were present enough to actually hear your wife speak. You could have still been mentally checked out on whatever you were dealing and missed whatever she
Mhm.
was saying to you. Like, that happens.
Fact.
It's not
Yeah.
on purpose.
But that's the thing. And as a team, what she did was say, you know what, I'm gonna take him to school, you chill and deal with what you was doing.
Yeah.
And instead of her saying it in front of the kids, she texted me.
Right.
Da 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 da. Okay, you know what, you're 100% right. Definitely. And then when we saw each other without the kids, we chopped it up real quick again about it. Gave it the right. So
And,
you
and,
sometimes you gotta eat that pride and honestly say what you gotta say and respect it. Nothing wrong with it. Definitely nothing wrong with it, guys.
also, I want to say something else too. Sometimes people equate buying somebody something, sending them something. They think that's love.
Yeah.
To me, what's real love is having conversations and being present. Yes, you could do something nice. That is nice. But if the person is not listening to you, hearing you, or just like the accountability Don just showed, if you're not getting that from your spouse, what good is, like, if I'm disrespecting you, but I buy you a trip to Paris, is that really love?
Hmm.
I might just be sending you away so I can have more time on my jump off, right? But but you're going to Paris, right? So
Listen.
sometimes we need to not equate somebody buying us, because this works both sides. You know what I mean? A
Yeah,
woman
yeah,
could come
definitely.
home and give you a steak dinner and give you all this stuff, and meanwhile
Hmm.
she's doing all this disrespectful stuff. But I cooked you a steak dinner.
The home was taken care of, in other words.
Yeah, yeah. Like, so
So,
so you can't, like, that's the thing about relationships is finding balance in all of this.
fact. So, we touched on 10 great things. Definitely run it back so you could go through it with us. And if you missed it from the beginning, we're gonna go through them. Emotional manipulation of your husband, mothering your husband, aggression towards your husband, smothering your husband, criticizing your husband, undermining your husband, lusting and flirting with other people other than your husband,
Mm.
avoiding issues with your husband, taunting your husband, and envy of other marriages, which is the bonus. These are things that our men take for disrespect. We might not say it, we might um not go all in about it, but these are things that we take as disrespect. And if you feel that you are doing this to your spouse, and I'm gonna say spouse, or because you could be doing this to your boyfriend. If you feel that you're doing these things, acknowledge it. Talk to them, communicate, and try to fix the problem. You know, men have feelings, people. You might not let it be known too much, but we have feelings.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? Once again, check out the Instagram, Thoughts of a Man Podcast '06. Hit me up at Dawn _ the Evening Rush. We'll be back next week. How you want to go out with this one, Chris?
Yeah, if you're a couple and you're going through some of this or have any experiences, please hit us up. If you want to come on the show and talk about it, we can come back to this topic. Um, but I wish everybody out there much success, love, happiness, and again, communication is the key of life. It's the key to everything. You can't be successful without communication. Period.
Facts, preach. So on that note, we're closing out. Thank you again for tuning in. Make sure you catch us next week. You already know what it is. It's Thoughts of a Man. Catch me again tomorrow, the Evening Rush, 7 p.m. We're gonna talk about something similar, as this is gonna be the theme for this week. Also, make sure you tap into bulletproof marriages. Like I said, it's the theme for the week. And make sure y'all check out sorry about that. Excuse me. Relationship Ish with V and Cass. They also will be talking about relationships and what's going on. So make sure you tap in. All these shows this week are relationship worthy, and for some for y'all to all to check in on. All right. So we'll talk to y'all next week. You already know what it is. Peace.